Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your hosts, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham. Alongside Jeremy Jeffcoat, we'll be with you for the next hour, as always, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics and maybe a little beyond. We appreciate all of you out there being with us today. Another beautiful day outside, a little cool, but a lot of people out there experiencing a lot worse weather than we are today. So beautiful day outside here in the great state of Alabama. We got a lot to talk about today. We'll kind of look back at 2022, maybe think about some of the best games we saw, some of the worst games maybe, do some of the best and worst. Auburn's got a basketball game tonight, SEC season. Kicks off with the Florida Gators. We'll break down that game a little bit, look at the SEC schedule as it opens for this 2022 season. Talk about that, maybe some bowl games as well. Love to hear from you, though. 256-234-6221. That's our number here. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. And as always, we would appreciate any and all feedback you'd like on any of the things that we talk about or whatever you'd like to talk about today. JJ, good to see you. You have a good holiday?
I did. Had a nice holiday. How about you?
I did. Wonderful. The wind chill being down a little lower than I'm
it was
used
cold.
to.
I mean, it was cold.
It was very cold. I stayed inside. And
yeah. It wasn't much fun to get out in, that's for sure.
No,
I'm looking forward to, like, the SEC basketball season kicking off. I think it's going to be just a fabulous. I think, like, I was looking at the teams the other day. I think there's 6 teams that are tournament bound, right?
Right.
And then I think there's a couple more, 2 or 3 more that could, be on that NIT, NCAA sort of bubble, right? Trying to sneak in there with an 11 or 12 seed or something.
It should be a very, very competitive year. A lot of really good games coming down to the wire. So I'm with you there. I think that's going to be a great one. Mike already chiming in says, who's going to take Stan White's place on the radio? Andy, I think you would be a good replacement. Well, I appreciate the compliment, Mike. And hey, if they offered me the job, I'd take it. But I don't see that one coming my way. I don't know who's going to replace him yet. Again, it was kind of I didn't even realize Stan was leaving until the Alabama game was over, I think, and they said this was going to be Stan's last game. So he's been doing that for I can't remember when Charlie Trotman left, but he's been doing it for quite a while now, and I always thought he did a great job. And he's kind of a quiet guy. He never, outside of that, you never heard a whole lot from him. And so he's just kind of going off and doing his own thing now. But I would imagine it would be a former player. I heard Jason Campbell was offered the job, and he was contemplating whether he wanted to do that. He was working for Auburn Network now anyway. Of course, he's working with the NIL as well. That's probably become a full-time job, but I don't know. We'll see. Any former Auburn player come to mind that might be good if that's something.
Oh gosh, what's his name? You'll hear him on the radio on Jocks at times.
Cole Kublik?
No. I don't think Cole's going to leave his SEC Network gig and ESPN gig for the Auburn Network.
No.
But the guy I'm thinking of, he was a safety. He's an eye doctor now.
Peyton, yeah. If you had to ask me, I would have told you. But
he pops to mind. I think
true.
he does a pretty good job when he does his guest spots on the radio.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think he could be a candidate there. Campbell certainly would make some sense. So there's guys out there. So we'll see.
Definitely. There's some possibilities out there.
Rob Pate.
Rob Pate.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. He's got Philip Pate was also his brother played at Auburn as well. So, okay. So, good question. If you've got any suggestions out there, who do you think would be good to replace Stan White as the color man alongside Andy Burcham in the radio booth? Charlie Trotman, he's the only one that I remember. Him and Jim Fife, they were always the best to me. Of course, Pat Sullivan was the color guy for years on the radio with Jim Fife as well. And you go all the way back to Gusty Yearout back in the 70s. If you got any suggestions about that, we'd love to hear them. Starting off, we'll just kick it off thinking about kind of looking back at 2022 and see where this goes. You chime in on yours. What do you think? I just threw out some of the best and worst, kind of moments and things like that, players, games.
I noticed you had Brian Harsin fired on the best list.
I did.
Yeah, because some people would think that's like part of the worst.
Well, worst for him.
Yeah.
Best for me. But I say worst for him. Getting fired at Auburn, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the show, but Brett, there's this publication that came out, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday. But it's very interesting. It went from 2007 to 2022.
Okay.
And it compared how much Alabama has paid Nick Saban versus where Auburn has paid the entire coaching staff all the head coaches they've had.
So this would be Tuberville, Malzahn, Harsin.
End of Tuberville, Chiswick, Malzahn,
Harsin. Who's been paid? I'm guessing that the fired coaches have been paid more.
Nick Saban has been paid, I think it was $112 million since 2007.
16 years, okay.
Auburn has paid their coaches $120 million.
Wow.
And who's getting the best return of that, JJ? But now granted, $28 million for Malzahn in one fell swoop, and $20 million or what was it? 15? What was it? 20? No, it was $18 million for Harsin, something like that. So basically 20 and. Basically, like 30, I think it was $36 million worth of buyout.
If you keep the same coach for 15 years, it is much better.
Much better.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's really hard to do. It doesn't happen a lot in this day and age.
No.
But Auburn has not had now, granted, up until here recently, Auburn would keep a coach for at least 6 years. But that's just kind of the way things go. But thinking about the best game that you recall this year in 2022 in the SEC.
Yeah, I mean that Tennessee-Alabama game is going to be hard to beat.
Hard to say that one was not probably the best.
I mean, just one, it lived up to the hype, right? The quarterbacks lived up to the hype. It was high scoring. It was dramatic. You had the. I mean, I don't know how much they spent on that fireworks show at the end of the game, but my goodness. Yeah, I mean that's a
probably
pretty tough one.
As the fine
college football as a whole this year, tough to beat that game.
Yeah, I would agree. That was. You're right. I mean, there was some exciting game. I mean, the LSU Alabama game was an exciting game. It was a fun game, but that one probably it would be hard to beat. Best player this year, Hendon Hooker, maybe. I mean, is it hard to? He had certainly the one
up until the injury. It'd be hard to, it'd be hard to get over that. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the tight end for Georgia. I mean,
he's a great player. Yeah,
he's had a pretty phenomenal year.
He has.
outside of that, I mean, I'm sure there.
SEC has
Will
awarded-
Anderson's kind of had a disappointing year. I think not disappointing, but
But he did win the Defensive Player of the Year again.
I mean, it was people had hyped it up to the point where you thought he was going to have this monster.
Yeah, anything less than 20
He had
sacks was
10
going to
sacks.
be a disappointment.
He had 10 sacks. So I mean that. Yeah. But anyway, he's a dominant player. He's a victim of his own success.
Yeah. Well, I think that happens sometimes with, when you see Heisman winners come back. Happened to Bryce Young this year.
Yeah.
Because you could have a really great year and then not live up to a Heisman year, and people go, "Well, he didn't have that great a year."
That's right.
It's like, okay, well.
Best coach. Who you going with? I know.
I think Brian Kelly deserves some consideration for what he did at LSU. I think it's hard to it's hard to overlook Kirby Smart running the table again.
Yeah. Heupel.
Heupel deserves some consideration, but boy, the finish was rough. I think Beamer deserves some consideration there. I think there are some guys. No Jimbo.
No, I don't think he's on there.
No.
No, I don't think Harson's on there.
No, I don't think so. They'd be sharing an apartment right now if Texas A&M could afford it.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah.
All right, we're just getting started here on this edition of the Auburn Blitz. Join us when we come back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Concrete Basement and Walls LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls LLC.
No monthly payments until springtime at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. New Chevy Silverado 1500 trucks discounted up to $9,250 off. Chevy Equinox up to $5,500 off, or payments as low as $369 a month. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way at Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. About 45 more minutes left in today's show. We are brought to you each and every day by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. They are saving people thousands of dollars each and every year on their home mortgage, always looking out for your best interest. They're always looking out for that lowest interest rate they can find you, and they will always find out that and help you out with it throughout the year. 256-397-0248. 256-397-0248. Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, located right here in Alexander City, but they are servicing the entire state of Alabama. We were looking at the best and worst kind of moments of 2022, looking back in the SEC. Hard to narrow it down like a best moment. What would be the best moment for you, particularly, do you think?
Gosh, I don't know.
I mean, you know.
When I think moments, I tend to think human interest type stuff, right?
Okay.
Rather than football moments.
Right.
Again, if you're just going football moments, it's going to be hard to get past Tennessee breaking up nearly 20-year losing streak to Alabama, right?
But not for you particularly.
Well, no. And as far as like football moments for me in particular, is there one to say? I'll tell you what was a cool moment. I thought, and I don't know if you can narrow it down to like one moment, right, or a thing, but I thought Cadillac Williams coaching that first game at home was a pretty cool moment, right? Even though it's not like a snapshot moment, it's you know. But that first home game there, I thought was a pretty cool
Two
moment.
losing teams. I mean, a sellout kind of crowd.
Well, it's a good moment just because you know a good guy who got to do something that he had always wanted to do and did a fine job with it. So
absolutely, I think that's a great one. Now, there's also a flip side of the coin. Most disappointing and most the worst side of 2022. The worst game, there was some ugly some ugly games throughout the year. For me, certainly, the Penn State-Auburn game was the most disappointing because of all. I mean, obviously being Auburn, but we led into that game. I think all of us talked about what a pivot game that was.
Right.
What an important game that was. We built that game up to say, this is the one. And Auburn, they won the first two, and they did what they had to do. And then you got to that game, and you thought, okay. And it was close at the half, and it was a competitive game. And then the second half, it completely got away from Auburn. And you came away from that game just getting the stats were really ugly. And you just came away thinking, well, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, we built that up. This is that game that's going to tell us how the rest of the season's going to go. And it did.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
and the funny thing is, too, and everybody's guilty of this sometimes, when you play like lackluster opponents, right, early on, everybody has a tendency when you look at it, you go, well, yeah, it wasn't like a dominant thing, but they're probably holding some stuff back.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, coaches don't hold stuff back. They want to be able to run their stuff. And, you're not holding back. You're trying to work up too, right? So you're trying to do more and more, not less and less. Yeah.
But they say they ain't like it's they own chapter 1 of the book.
Yeah, every coach goes into a game, I don't care who they're playing, thinking, if we don't game plan this thing right, we get beat today. And so I think sometimes when you start off with a couple of wins, okay, they're not totally dominant. And there are some things in there that are a little concerning, but we're probably holding some stuff back. Never think that. You're not holding stuff back. If there are concerns, there are concerns. If you're not protecting the quarterback early in games against lackluster opponents, you're not going to protect the quarterback later in the season against quality opponents.
Yeah. Well, it made it even hit home a little harder toward the end of the year when I saw – Auburn was giving up, 300 yards rushing to Penn State and rushing for less than 100. And then Michigan goes out and rushes for like 300 or something against Penn State and just completely shuts them down. And I thought, man, we are that far away.
Yeah.
We were just way, way, way far away. Most disappointing player for you. And, I thought about Keishon Butte from LSU. He's so much hype around him.
Yeah.
And he really didn't really do a
How
whole
about
lot.
Anthony Richardson?
Spencer Rattler? I mean, even though he kind of came
Spencer
on.
Rattler closed strong, though.
Yeah.
Thought he improved during the course of the season and closed really strong. Anthony Richardson had that big game in the first game and was then just so erratic. And I know he's declared for the draft. And, look, somebody's going to draft the dude.
Is he an NFL quarterback?
I don't think so. Okay. But, look,
is he an NFL backup?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But, again, somebody's going to do his measurables at the combine, and they're going to go, wow. And, they're going to draft the guy second, third round thinking they're getting Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe they are. Maybe it'll prove me wrong. But I don't see the maturity and the decision-making and the leadership qualities of a Jalen Hurts there, but that's just me. So.
Is there any other person you could put where most disappointing coach?
It's got to be Jimbo.
Got to be.
I mean, they can't be anybody else.
I don't think that's. Yeah.
I think had Jimbo had an okay year, I think you could have pointed at Stoops. Even though Kentucky didn't have a terrible year. We all know Kentucky's capable of some terrible years.
I think most disappointing team could be Kentucky.
You can make the argument. More disappointing than Texas A&M?
I mean, Texas A&M is the obvious one.
Okay, so you're leaving out A&M.
Yeah, but Kentucky, I mean, I think they lost to Vandy.
Yeah.
I mean, they at home, I think, didn't they? I mean, it was kind of inexplicable. You were expecting
somebody tell me why I still hear
wins.
Will Levis's name as the top 10 pick.
Talk about the most disappointing player. He could fit in that one as well. He did not have the year I think nobody thought he was going to, especially after they beat Ole Miss. I'm talking about they lost to Ole Miss down there, and the way that they did. I mean, that was just anyway. Yeah. I think most disappointing. I mean, worst. I mean, worst moment in the SEC clearly I think is the untimely death of Mike Leach. But I mean that kind of goes without saying. But there was a lot of. I'm sure every fan base has their own most disappointing moments and things like that. But certainly Hendon Hooker tearing his ACL the way he did and missing out on the Heisman and everything, that was pretty bad for him as well. We got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more. We'll take your comments and take your phone calls when we come back right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new, convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you for about 30 more minutes. We are brought to you each and every day by Big Fish Real Estate. For all your real estate needs here in the Lake Martin area as well as down there on the coast, give them a call today, 551-BIG-FISH, or look them up, bigfishlakemartin.com, for all your real estate needs. They are always, again, they know this place backwards and forwards. They can all help you out with anything you're looking for, whether you're looking to rent your place during the off season or during the looking for an existing home, looking for a place to rent at times, whatever it might be. Go and check out Big Fish Real Estate today. JJ, let's go to the phone line.
All righty.
Hey, caller, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, guys. How are y'all today?
Doing great. How about you, Scott?
We are hanging in there. Y'all have a good Christmas, a cold Christmas, I guess?
It was wonderful. It was chilly.
Definitely
but it
cold.
was wonderful.
Oh, let me tell you, boy, up here in Coleman, up here in North Alabama, it was terrible. Goodness gracious, cold. What y'all think about today is, well, tonight's ball game, this evening's ball game, I guess you'd say, against Florida. What's y'all's take on that?
I think it's going to be really interesting. I think Florida is a good team. I don't think they're certainly not a great team with a young coach. There's that aspect of it's kind of Bruce Pearl's pupil and Todd Golden, and now Colin Castleton, great player. He gave Auburn fits last year, and I think he's going to have his points. He's going to have his moments. He's going to be – you can't really stop him. You can only hope to contain him, as they say. But outside of that, I think Auburn, it's a good matchup for them. I think they – as long as they don't, have one of these just games like they did, as long as they don't have one of these 25 turnover type games like they had against USC, or have one of these just unbelievably bad offensive games like they did against Northwestern, I think they should win the game, because I think they're a little bit better. And this is, I think, Florida's first or second true road game of the year. And, Auburn Arena is a pretty tough place to play.
Yeah, that home court advantage is going to be a big difference today, I think. Probably beat them by 10. We probably need to put K.D. Johnson on that Florida boy and just let K.D. foul out. You know what I mean? Just let him give him some rest, of course, but just let him stay on him like glue and hope for the best. That's about what we can do, because he's going to get his points. Ain't no doubt about that. But that our home court advantage should make the difference, I hope. I'm looking – we're not as good offensively we usually are. Our defense is tough, of course. It's keep us in every ball game, I think. But we probably looking at 20 and 22 and 12 or something like that record. Y'all agree with me on that, or am I a little bit off whack with that? Or
I think that may be about right. I could see us, if we go, we're 10-2 now. If we could get to 10, 10-8 in the league, that'd be about that. So I
think a little better than that. I think 12-6 in the league, 11-7, 12-6.
I think 11-7 would be a good. I mean, that'd be a good shot, something to shoot for.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I do too. Hopefully, like I said last week, hopefully we'll start peaking a little bit and start playing a little bit. Them shots, you keep throwing it up there in the ocean, it's going to fall sometime or another, right?
You would figure.
Yes, sir. Hey, y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow here.
I appreciate it, Scott. Yeah, Auburn and Florida tonight. It's a good matchup. A good opener at home for Auburn.
It's so hard this early in the conference season to predict what you're going to see. I mean, you know the three stats I look at, right? It's field goal percentage, rebounds, and turnovers. And if you look at those now, at this point in the season, there's no accounting for who's played who. The numbers don't necessarily reflect an even-handed way of determining anything, because schools play such different schedules, right? One school may play a really tough schedule with a lot of tough tournament games or whatever, and some school may play a lot of home games against Jack State, right? So and then there's,
Well, Florida and Alabama have both played 12 games.
Yeah.
It ain't the same schedule.
It ain't the same schedule.
It ain't even close.
No.
So.
It's so hard at this point to look at stats and let them tell you anything. I think you got to see teams play. I still go with Florida is one of those teams that I think at the end of the year could be an NIT team battling for a late low seed in the NCAA, 11-13 kind of thing, right?
Right.
That to me is kind of who I think Florida is. We'll find out when we get to conference play.
They're a pretty experienced team. A lot of seniors on this team. They're somewhat like Auburn they're a lot like Auburn in that they play pretty good defense, which is, again, that connection between Golden and Pearl. His teams are going to play a lot like Pearl because that's where he kind of made his bones under him. But they play 10 guys. They get double-digit minutes.
Yep.
So they're deep. They're going to run a lot of guys out there. They score about the same as Auburn right now, as far as how many points they put up per game. But like you said, I mean, the competition, it's kind of hard to judge that kind of thing. But, it'll come down to who shoots the ball better, who rebounds the ball better,
and turns it over less.
And turns it over less. I mean, it's not real. I mean, it can be simple. It's just a matter of how you get there. So it should be a good test for Auburn at home. The students are not there, but I still expect the environment to be pretty good.
Yeah, no, I do too.
And I expect that to be a fact.
And it's tough to go on the road. Southeastern Conference basketball right now, road games are tough just about everywhere. So
yeah. It should be a fun night to open. Some really good games tonight. Tennessee at Ole Miss. Tennessee looked pretty good. You would expect, Tennessee to win that one. But Kentucky at Missouri. Missouri, the surprise team of the SEC, certainly maybe the surprise team of the country right now. They just, I think, beat number 16 Illinois earlier this week. So they're 11.
You're going to find out a little more about them tonight, I think.
Kentucky hadn't played quite up to Kentucky standards, 8-3. If Missouri wins that one, then
they're a threat.
Really start to look at them. You got Alabama at Mississippi State.
That should be a great game.
Mississippi State 11-1.
Yeah, that really should be a great game.
Mississippi
State's really good.
Yeah, and Arkansas at LSU, an 11-1 LSU team, unranked right now.
Another surprise, kind of didn't really expect 11-1 out of them right now.
No.
I haven't broken down their schedule to see who they played, but we'll see.
Well, they lost
because Arkansas is for real. I'll tell you that much. Arkansas can play it.
LSU had lost basically their entire roster.
Yeah,
and basically rebuilt it with a new coach.
Yeah.
And so, why would you expect them to be 11-1?
Right.
But 9, like you said, number 9 in the country, Arkansas 11-1, really, really good. But Baton Rouge not an easy place to play either.
Yeah,
been in that stadium.
That's the thing, though. You and I were talking about this earlier. To me, there are 6 teams, right? Auburn, Kentucky, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas,
Missouri, maybe.
Well, I'm just talking about. I'm not counting the unexpected, right? In Tennessee, those are your 6 that I think are. Nobody's a shoe-in for the tournament at this point. But they should be tournament teams, and some of them could be really high seeds before it's done. And then I think you've got a group of teams like a Missouri, like an LSU, like an Ole Miss, Mississippi State, who could be battling for, how many teams could we get in? Could it be 8? I think it could.
Could be fun. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house you need 3 things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually 4. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, Brubaker, Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Just a couple of more segments left in today's show, brought to you each and every day by Russell Dewitt Center. They got 10 locations around central Alabama. For all your building supply, home decor tools, whatever it might be, go and check out Russell Dewitt Center today. They got a little bit of everything there. Go and check them out. You'll be glad that you did. Some comments rolling through. Get some of those. Is there an SEC Athlete of the Year award, says Steve? Yes, there is. If so, it should be Suni Lee. Her Olympics and SEC performance leading Auburn to the Final Four is tough to beat. I would imagine she would probably be on that list. I would certainly put her on there. Kyle says the Auburn-Northwestern basketball game has to be the tops of worst lists, no matter what the sport. I would agree. 43-42, that was one of the ugliest games. Rock fight comes to mind when you think of that game. And Ty says if Auburn can't contain Castles, then it might be a long night. Auburn needs to shoot better. I would agree. If they play like they did against Washington, they'll win the game, and they'll win it by 10 points. If they play like they did against USC, it's going to be really, really tough, and they'll have a big-time struggle tonight. So, I mean, just looking at the last 2 games they've played, hopefully that will hopefully they'll play more like they did against Washington, certainly. We've got some bowl games today. Central Florida and Duke. Malzahn has said he always struggled in bowl games.
No offense to Malzahn. Hard pass on that game.
Not really interested, huh?
Not
Duke,
a bit.
That one at 1 o'clock following the Auburn Blitz. Kansas at Arkansas. We've been talking about this. 2 6-6 teams, but Kansas, 2 resurgent teams that were just deplorable 3 or 4 years ago and have clawed and fought their way back to respectability.
Yep.
And so I'm very interested in this game. Arkansas is a 2.5-point favorite in the game, but watch out for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, I sort of feel that way too. Like, I don't know why necessarily. But
they're an up-tempo type. I mean, they got a high-flying offense. I think it should be a lot of scoring in this game, I would think.
I think
not a lot of defense.
It's one of those games where if you look at it, if I tell you, hey, Arkansas is playing Kansas, you go, well, Arkansas will win that one. But then you look at it and you go, maybe not.
Maybe not. Depends on how KJ Jefferson plays.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Drew Sanders is playing in the game, is he?
I don't know.
I think he opted out to go to the draft. Holiday Bowl, always, I don't know what it is about the Holiday Bowl, but it's always been notoriously a really, really entertaining game.
High scoring.
Oregon and North Carolina. For some reason, Oregon is a 13-point favorite.
Yeah, I think
seems a bit high.
It does seem a bit high. Is Drake May playing in the game?
I think
I'm
so.
assuming.
Yeah. And Bo Nix announced he's coming back.
I think that's best for him. I think another year in college. Now, I told you earlier this year I didn't think that Bo Nix was a draftable quarterback this year unless you got down, 5th round or something.
No.
But another year under his belt, continue to work and get better, a little more work on mechanics, that sort of thing. I think, he
Heisman, legitimate Heisman candidate next year.
Coming into the season, no doubt. And Dan Lanning, probably danced 1,000 jigs when he heard, that news. So, because Oregon's got a chance to be really good next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas Bowl, Texas Tech and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 3.5-point favorite. You could say maybe Ole Miss was a disappointing team this year at 8-4, but
a little bit. But their schedule was so backloaded. We talked about everything they lost and had to replace coming into the year.
Apparently
and they covered it up pretty good in the early season, but those weaknesses were still there.
Apparently Kiffin's going to be a transfer portal guy.
Yeah.
Because they keep recruiting in the 30s, and they keep going to hitting the portal hard.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a year-to-year kind of thing with them, apparently.
It used to be, if you were the head coach at Ole Miss or Mississippi State, you leaned heavily on the Mississippi JUCO system for players. It's a little bit like that.
It is. That's true. Jackie Sherrill made a career out of that.
That's right.
At Mississippi State for sure. All right, we're up against our final break, but we'll be back with one last segment on this Wednesday edition of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hey guys, this is Nate Pass with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare. Serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Wednesday. Andy and JJ taking you up to 1 o'clock. We had a call about Mason, the Coastal Carolina quarterback, Grayson McCall. I'll get it right in a minute. Grayson McCall, he got hurt last night, but there was some talk about him transferring to Auburn. I don't think that's going to happen because it's got to do with something about not enough of his college credits will transfer to Auburn specifically that he could even be eligible.
Well, I think it's affecting him at a number of schools.
I think it was affecting him at Florida as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a problem. But he did get injured last night. Don't know how bad it is. It was an upper body injury. I did watch a little bit of it. I had to do the show Sportz Blitz last night, so I didn't get to see much of the game. But I know his numbers are great, and he could be a really, really good quarterback for somebody if the grades thing, if the academic issues could be worked out. I don't think it's going to happen at Auburn, though. On this day, it is December the 28th, 1905. Basically, the NCAA was created. It was called the Intercollegiate Athletic Association back then, became the NCAA in 1910. But, Ben, how much longer is it going to be around?
It'll be around.
In some way or form?
As long as they keep getting billion-dollar contracts for that basketball tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On this day, 1958, the greatest game ever played, they called it. The Colts defeated the Giants 23-17 to win the NFL championship at Yankee Stadium. The first sudden death overtime game in NFL history. 17 future Hall of Famers involved in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead.
That'd be the great John Unitas would be one.
John Unitas was in that one.
Was Earl Morrow on that team as well?
Frank Gifford was in that game, I think, for the Giants.
Yeah.
But I believe a young offensive coordinator by the name of Vince Lombardi and a young defensive coordinator by the name of Tom Landry. I think Landry was for the Giants and Lombardi for the Colts, I believe. Or maybe it was reversed, one way or the other. But, I mean, you talk about some star power in that game.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually seen a replay of that game. It was, highly entertaining. And really just one of those, kind of really a great game. 1975 on this day.
One of my childhood heroes.
Roger Staubach, who came and was in the Pop Warner Parade in Ellick City in like 1983.
All right.
Or something like that. I remember it very.
Captain
I got his
Comeback.
autograph. Throws a 50-yard touchdown pass to Drew Pearson with 32 seconds left in the NCAA divisional playoff game to defeat the Vikings. Kind of threw it up for grabs, and the Hail Mary was born.
There you go.
And people said, and then forever since it's called the Hail Mary. So there you go, 1975. Right after I was born, this happened. So it's as old as I am. Also, happy birthday today, Johnny Otis. Do you know the godfather of – they call him the godfather of the rhythm and blues.
They do.
That's what they call him. He actually was a singer, songwriter. He record producer. He discovered Etta James, Jackie Wilson.
Okay.
He wrote Willie and the Handjob and promote and
yeah, but one of our kids gave me for Christmas some vinyl, and one of the ones he gave me was now I'm having a moment.
Senior moment.
A senior moment. What's his name? Wait till the midnight hour. Otis Redding.
Oh, yeah.
Gave me an Otis Redding triple album.
Oh, wow.
Otis Redding's greatest hits.
One of my favorites.
So, yeah.
If you know, I mean, to hear him do
that's your turn for him.
Yeah, really. Yeah. There's so many of them that were good, but
Well, the thing is, when you listen to it, you're going like, wait, that's Aretha. Wait, that's this person. Wait, that's that person. Wait, that's and hear Otis Redding doing them all is pretty cool.
Well, that's why I mean, people. I know Aretha Franklin owns Respect, but I love Otis's.
Oh yeah,
yeah, great. Also, Nichelle Nichols.
That would be Lieutenant Uhura.
That is
Star
Uhura.
Trek fame.
That is correct. She just died this year. Maggie Smith, fine actress. I think she's in Downton Abbey. Do you ever watch it?
No,
I've never seen it either. But she was also in. I remember from the original Clash of the Titans. She was one of the gods. She was like
okay.
She was Athena or so I forget. Edgar Winter.
The Edgar Winter Band, Frankenstein, Free Ride. Godzilla.
Yeah,
right?
1960.
Was that Godzilla or was that Blue Oyster Cult?
I don't know. You got me. Ray Knight, he scored the winning run in Game 6 of the 1986 World Series.
There you go.
The upset, the Mets beat the Red Sox. Denzel Washington.
One of my top 5 greatest actors of all time.
He's hard to beat. 1954.
I still say he's had a lot of great performances. Training Day still blows me away. Just because it's Denzel the good guy, and then all of a sudden it's not Denzel.
Yeah. Joe Diffie, born on this day, 1958.
He was a pickup man.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
John Deere Green, right?
Yeah.
What was he was some redneck reindeer? What was his
Leroy the redneck reindeer.
There you go. Yeah. Marty Rowe, born on this day, 1960.
Exile?
Diamond Rio.
Gotcha. Okay.
Lead singer,
right.
Diamond Rio. James Jett, great name for a sprinter.
Yes.
Went on to play in the NFL as wide receiver as well. Adam Vinatieri.
One of the great kickers ever to do it.
I would say the GOAT of kickers.
Certainly right there.
Patrick Rafter, He won the U.S. Open back-to-back. 1972 he was born. And John Legend, great name for, anybody. John Legend. Born on this date, 1978. Great singer. And been in some movies as well. That's going to wrap it up for us. He's JJ. I'm Andy Solf. Now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.